Teressa Joubert Show. You're listening live tonight. It is November 3rd, and we are going to talk tonight about imposter syndrome from a spiritual perspective. And what I mean by that is that voice that we have inside of our mind that can keep us a little bit in a crushed state of being, that can keep us feeling quite small and quite stuck. And I've noticed a very repeated pattern in people's consciousness lately of just trauma after trauma after trauma. And it's like we get stuck in this stuck state of emotional um, frozen. It's like we're emotionally stuck. And it's because there have been too many things happen in our life, one after the other. And it's just the needle on the camel's back. It's that it's like the haystack's full, the energy needs to be cleared. And until that happens, we can feel really, really stuck. And oftentimes people have a lot of gifts to offer to the world. They have so many gifts to offer to others, and they're really suffering because they want to help other people. They want to offer their amazing abilities out there to the universe, but we're just really struggling trying to take care of our own stuff. And that can keep us in a really sort of victimized mindset of what was me, and I don't know how to get out of this stuck state. So if that's where you are, I want to send you so much compassion and love and let you know that you are not alone at all. There are so many people right now that are in a emotionally frozen, stuck state where we just are plunging along, one foot in front of the other, and we were just hit by issue after issue coming left, right, center. Right now, there's these issues happening in Ontario with our government not supporting support workers and custodial staff with enough salary for them to even be able to survive. So there are arguments happening right now, and it's not a very good vibration to be in. This feeling of uncertainty, and there's a lot of emotions going back and forth. But what I'm noticing is the support from people and the empathy that people are having toward those people that are really just trying to get their fair share of earnings. So, yeah, there's a lot of issue after issue after issue and thing that's happening out there in the world. And it's very important to have so much compassion rather than looking at life from a perspective of being victimized and being in this stuck state. I really want to encourage you to empower yourself somehow and to stay away from any kind of toxic news that is not going to serve you in your highest good, that is going to just add to that pile and to that feeling of, oh my goodness, what's going to happen, and that feeling of fear and uncertainty. What I really want to encourage instead is that we address those feelings that we have of fear that are lurking in here in our consciousness, those feelings of inadequacy or feelings of uh, the imposter syndrome tells us that we're not allowed to help other people if we're still stuck in our own uh, issues. I almost swore there. So being mindful that it is okay to help other people, even if you're still in a bit of a rut yourself. And that's the problem with imposter syndrome, is that it will tell us that we're not allowed to help people. And the voices that we will hear ourselves say to ourselves are things like, who do you think you are? Uh, you're still stuck in it yourself. How are you supposed to help people when you can't even figure out your own stuff? So I want to encourage you to tell that voice in your head to take a hike and to address where you've come from so far. How about that? Because we have all climbed out of a hole in our life somewhere or other, which has created a strength inside of us that has also created a sense of resiliency. Am I right? All of us have gone through something difficult and we have come out stronger because of it. And really it's our choice of do we allow those things to crush us or get us stuck, or do we choose to learn from that or even move into a sense of gratitude for the experience that we just went through that will help us to create a higher sense of resiliency. Now, when I say that, I can't help but think about the parents who have lost children to either suicide or death or illness or murder. And that is not exactly a topic that would apply to that issue, but still in a way a little bit. I want to extend extra compassion to people who have lost children. When I speak about things like resiliency and strength, I want to encourage those of us who have gone through extreme issues and even small issues that pile up. When small issues pile up and pile up and pile up, we need to clear our emotional energy field. And this is something that I'm able to see around you. I can see your aura colors. I can see them in my mind's eye when we're communicating, even over the phone. So if you're calling in and you'd like some guidance, I can see your aura colors. I can see your personality because of that and where you're at emotionally in life. And I can also communicate with your loved ones on the other side. And I just want to let you know that your loved ones are aware of all of your thoughts. They're aware of all of your thoughts and all of your feelings, especially toward them, but they know how you're feeling about life in general and where you're at in your own life. Yeah. So all of your thoughts are not your own. They are out there. They're out there to the universe. And it is super important to become mindful, very mindful of how we're feeling and how we're thinking toward other people around us, because that will create a ripple effect that will move into other people's energy fields and affect them and their mood. And it's like a whole karmic energy intermingling system that is invisible, but it exists, it is real. So when I am speaking about imposter syndrome, I just want to encourage any of you out there who are extending yourselves to help other people that it is okay to be in your own process while continuing to help other people get through their stuff as well. And let me just repeat that. It is okay to be in your own process of healing while continuing to help others. And I know that this will help us to lift up out of our hole. It'll help us to lift up when we are helping others. There is a sense of compassion and connectedness and community that happens. And I also want to encourage you to say an affirmation to yourself that it is safe to fully feel your emotions while continuing to stand in your truth, helping others. And that is why I am here. And we are going to go to our first caller. Welcome. I'm not sure who. Okay, we've got Carla here. Welcome, Carla.
Hi.
Thanks for joining.
Hi, thank
Hi.
you.
How's it
How are
going?
you?
Good.
Going well. Yeah, I was just wondering if you're connecting with my late husband or anyone that has passed over in my life. I just yearn for messages right now.
Yeah, sure. I do have a man here. As soon as people talk about other ones that are crossed over, I can see them. There's a man in front of me, and he's bringing an awareness to his belly, to his stomach. He's showing me his chest, his stomach, his heart. He's probably trying to show me either that he's really slim on the other side because he showed me his belly without his shirt on. And I was like, whoa, okay. So he's showing me
Hmm.
that he is very healthy on the other side. And I'm super curious if he was suffering from anything chest or stomach related before he passed, because it's not too often that that happens where someone's talking about their stomach like that. I know I've been having some stomach indigestion
Um,
issues. Or do you know what he's talking about?
um, that would maybe be my father, who had chest surgery. Who had open heart surgery many years ago.
Oh,
But
okay.
belly, I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Well, he's waving at me and he's blowing a kiss and he's touching his throat, which is my symbol for I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. And as he's standing there, there's a man coming through beside him. And I want you to know that when I first connected to this man who is your father, he was showing me an image of a dove. And a dove is my symbol for crossing over with grace and ease. So I want to let you know that despite how he passed in that traumatic emotional experience on the family, he crossed over with grace and ease. And he's showing me a mother figure welcoming him as he crossed over. He's also showing me a dog with them on the other side. It looks like a medium to large size dog with
Well, that could be my husband now, because his mother passed. I mean, and we've had several animals
yeah,
in our lives in our marriage. So I'm not sure which one that could be one of many.
yeah, I'm
And then
very
it could be
curious.
a dog. It could be a childhood dog because his mother, he definitely could be
Mhm.
my husband.
Okay, now I'm very curious about how your husband passed. I can see him, but it's not like a super clear connection. He's showing me this. He just went like that. So that usually means like some kind of a quick passing, or usually I would take that as an impact. But I also get confusing feelings from him because he's giving me a feeling of illness in his body. So sometimes that can mean that he was hit with something or hit with an issue really quickly. Do you understand what he's trying to say?
Um, no, my father passed away suddenly right after open heart surgery. My husband had cancer. He
Yeah,
had
I felt
melanoma
that.
that spread to his brain and then subsequently the
Mm,
rest of his body,
okay.
central nervous system and all. So
Okay.
he
So I
went
believe I've
after
got your father
diagnosis.
here, and I do feel a man coming through who had suffered from illness. So please know that your dad's kind of taking the front row seat, and he is giving you a very huge sense of compassion and empathy. He's showing me an image of uh, two things. He's showing me an image of books, which is my symbol for learning and growing and educating yourself. There's also a word. Such a responsible man. He's saying the word taxes. Yeah. So I don't know if you still need to do your taxes, or if there is like loose ends to tie up with regards to your financial aspect of life, or if there's a will that needs to be drawn up. But I feel very responsible energy coming from your father, and he's encouraging you to take a look at those types of things in your life with a lot of love.
Mhm.
And he's showing me a male. He's kind of wanting to address a younger male. I'm curious if you have a son. There's also something about a daughter, but I'm not sure. Do you have children?
I do. They're both alive, thank God. I
Yeah.
do. I have could be my daughter. Um,
Okay.
but my husband and my father had a lot of similarities in personality. Both very outgoing people, so I'm not quite sure if it's both of them that you were sensing
Yeah.
or.
Well, please. Yeah,
Yeah.
please know that they're both coming through together and that they're aware of the time crunch. So oftentimes one of them will validate themselves with how they passed, and I'll see the second one. There are two men here in the room in spirit. I want you to know there's not just one, there's two. One of them has a golf
Wow.
tee on, the other one has more of a t-shirt. The one with the t-shirt, which I believe is your husband, has the dog standing beside him, and it looks a little bit more like a long-haired dog. And there is another woman here who feels like a mother figure. So I'm not sure
Could
if
be my
you're,
mom,
I think your mom's
or it
passed
could be
too,
his
right?
mom. She
Is your
did.
mom
My
passed?
mom and
Yeah.
my dad.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
my
please know that
mother
you're,
passed a few years ago.
okay.
Hmm.
So your mom and dad are coming through together. And I'm
Wow.
curious, I'm curious who passed first, because your dad was showing me a woman standing there helping him to cross over. So either that was his mom or it was your mom. I'm
Maybe.
not sure which one.
My
Go
grandmother
ahead.
passed away, my father, my mother, most people in my
Okay, so
life have gone already.
it's all in order. And you know what? I was just talking about this before the show of how we can get kind of like in a really stuck state emotionally when we have so many things that have happened all at once, kind of consecutively, one after the other. And if you've lost loved ones like that, it can be very difficult on our emotional state of being. So I want to encourage you to be very compassionate with yourself and to do a chakra clearing guided meditation just to help to clear away some of that heavy energy from all the grief that you've been experiencing. And if you'd like to set up a longer reading with me, you are more than welcome to. You can check out my website called teressamediumreadings.com. I would love to connect with you further. I want to leave you with these messages and say God bless. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so
All right.
much. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Okay. Thank you for that caller for calling in. Much gratitude. I just want to do a quick announcement before I take the next caller that I am starting our Sixth Sense Transformation Mastery Program, and that you are welcome to join us, that we are practicing our intuition, our sixth sense. We're learning all about the clairs and how they function, and you can join us by signing up on my Facebook page, Teressa Joubert. I would love for you to join our community and practice your intuition in a safe space. The next caller we're taking is Kendra from Middleton, England, it
Yeah,
looks like. Welcome.
hello.
Hi. How are you doing?
Okay, thanks.
Awesome. How can I help you tonight?
Just a bit of guidance of a general reading, please.
Okay. Yeah, when I connect to your energy, it feels a bit lonely. Feels like a bit I sense some health issues going on around you and some hopefulness, lots of hopefulness. But I really feel a need for a sense of community around you and to have someone to talk to about some things that you're going through. And I want to extend a lot of compassion and love to you in that space, because it feels like you've been through the ringer, to say it mildly. And it feels like it's affected you not only emotionally but physically. Like, I'm, as an empath, I feel a lot of aches in my body, shoulders, knees, hips, back, all these spots of, it's like arthritic pain everywhere. And it's like, oh, how much longer do I have to live like this?
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of compassion to you. Um, I'm going to be that nagging mother for just a minute, if you don't mind. I want to encourage you to have an anti-inflammatory diet as much as possible. And I know that's very hard to do when we are in an emotionally strained state where we kind of need to numb out, or we want to numb out because of all the stuff that we've been through. But I know that if you were to go on an anti-inflammatory diet, that body would feel so much better, and that the aches and pains would reduce by probably 60 to 80%. And that's kind of a big deal. Yeah. And I also want to encourage some emotional clearing because of all the stuff that you've been through. I want to encourage a lot of self-care. And when I say emotional clearing, I mean listening to some guided meditations, like a chakra clearing guided meditation. If you'd like to check out my YouTube channel, I have some really beautiful meditations there and some affirmation videos that you can watch to help lift you up and get you into a higher state of being. And I really want to encourage you to speak very kindly to yourself and your mind and almost congratulate yourself for all of the stuff that you've gone through, because I know that it's made you more resilient and very good at offering other people advice. Your aura looks very pink.
Yeah.
You've got my color on. So that means you're an amazing counselor, actually. So I feel like your highest self is really encouraging you to connect to other people and just offer that ear to listen to. And I know that that would give you a deeper sense of purpose. I also feel some financial struggle with you. So that's a bit tricky because I don't want you to be in that sort of stuck state financially. So I just feel like it's important to be mindful of money and how it is utilized, and just giving yourself what's necessary and sitting in gratitude for what we already have, instead of looking at the lack, is more looking at the abundance of the simplicity of what we do have, and sort of looking at life from that perspective instead of the lack consciousness. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Okay, just being mindful. I just want you to know that there is a man in spirit that just came forward. He feels like a relationship. I'm not sure if you've lost a spouse or if this would be a father figure, but a man just stepped forward.
Brother.
I'm sorry?
I lost my brother.
Oh, your brother. Okay. Yeah. He's standing beside me. He's showing me what looks like illness. He's showing me like an emphasized chest or esophageal sort of lung area here. He's highlighting his chest to me, and he went like this, which means something can be spreading up, which kind of reminds me of our last caller. Was he ill, or do you know if he suffered from? I just heard the word diabetes.
No.
I'm curious about that. Just lost my poppy. 1 second. I don't know if any of you have a poppy, but I just have my poppy on for today, and maybe that fell off for a reason. But I know that this poppy is a symbol to remember our loved ones.
I think I know. I think it's my grandfather.
Okay. Sometimes it's like, well, I served. I served. Yeah, he's showing me this feeling of service, and like, why would that happen right in the middle of trying to identify someone, right?
Yeah, we fought the war.
Yeah, he just saluted at me. He's very proud of himself. He feels like a protector and a provider, and he is coming through to say, hey, you know what? You're really strong. You've got this. And he is, I think he can hear you. Everybody in spirit can hear us. So he's hearing the complaining, the complaining that we do in our head. It's totally normal. You're not alone. Everybody does it. But he seems like such a strong man, and he's standing there with his arms crossed, and he's like, come on, really? You got this. Yeah, he seems very, he's kind of like a no BS kind of guy. So I want you to know that you've got some serious support and emotional strength on the other side coming to you. And he is encouraging you to keep your chin up and keep plunging along and take care of yourself and take care of what needs to be done. Okay, well, I just want to give you one card here. And this is the card forgiveness. Yeah, Joe Feel helps us to do a life review of that which no longer serves us in our highest good. So please work on forgiving yourself or others for circumstances that are beyond your control. And I want to just give that love to you and thank you for connecting with me. And I send you lots of love. Thanks for calling in, okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, tonight we have learned some valuable lessons from our loved ones to make sure we have a will drawn up to wear our poppy, to be mindful of our thoughts and how those echo out to everyone around us, and just to stay in a centered state of being, of trying not to feel victimized and to try to get to a feeling of empowered instead. And please know that your loved ones on the other side are watching over you, they are supporting you, and that it is so nice when we get to acknowledge them in our thoughts and in our consciousness. Absolutely wonderful to have all of you listening in tonight. I want to encourage you not to speak unkindly to yourself in your mind, and to know that it is okay to help others even though you are struggling yourself, and that will help you to lift out of whatever state that you're in. All right, I want to thank everyone for listening in tonight, and I look forward to seeing you next week on the Teressa Joubert Show. Have a great night, everyone, and God bless.